Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. And we are just so thrilled for to be here with you today. Lori Piper and I we have a fun topic to discuss, and you might be noticing that something's missing. Our very own Ann Hunter, she had a project with a deadline that she had to work on, and so I think we've all been there, right? Where it's like, okay,
Oh
I
yeah.
just have to clear my calendar and work on this priority. And so she's going to knock this project right out of the park, and we're cheering her on. So, but in the meantime, Lori and I have a fun topic. We are going to discuss the permission to create badly. Whew, and embracing our imperfection and experimentation as a pathway to brilliance. So, what do you think about that, Lori?
I love it and it speaks to me because I'm still a relatively new entrepreneur. So it's been what, 4.5 years. And and when I look back, a lot of what has kept me small in those years is that fear of doing something messy, like not knowing what I'm doing, and so I'm not going to do anything. And I've learned that's not a good way to do it. So I love this topic of do things messy because when I do them messy, when I just because I'll have a thought or a vision, and then I start to do it and it gets all messy, and then I give up. I judge myself. And so I've learned to just keep going with it because what happens is other ideas pop up, other things pop up. So this like messy little troll that I started with becomes, a prince or
Yes.
princess. So yeah, so be okay doing something messy. It's better than doing nothing.
Ah, I love that. And what a great analogy, too. A troll to a prince or a princess. That is so beautiful. Yes, I think that that's such a great analogy. And the thing that I think of in listeners, if you're like me, and I don't want to speak for Lori, but I suspect Lori at times is perfectionism gets in our way. And so it's like, well, I can't put that out there. This line is just a tiny bit crooked or something. And Lori, you're shaking your head.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Oh, yes. Especially my first foray into Canva. When you said that line is crooked, oh, there were times when I swear I would spend an hour trying to get it just right. And then it's like on Canva, you can see it, but if I print it out, you can't tell the difference. But it has to be just perfect.
Mm,
And, looking back, that a lot of that was probably also the fear of what will people think
mhm.
holding me back. And now I have a reason why I'm not putting myself out there.
Ah, yes, I love that. And when I think about perfectionism, because there's been times when I have used that as an excuse to hold myself back or keep myself small. And listeners, I have you, we would love to know that. We would love to hear your thoughts on whether it's being messy or creating badly or perfectionism. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But um, and then I think about show me what's perfect, show me what is perfect, and I look out and I look at God's creations, and the mountains they're all kinds of shapes, sizes. They Some are pointy, some are rounded, some are broken, so,
Mhm.
like all of those types of things. The moon has its cycles. The moon is beautiful, but it has its cycles, and you can see part of it and not of it, and I mean all these things, and it's like,
Yes.
so what is perfect? And then why do we put that pressure on ourselves, and fear being judged, or it shows my professionalism if I'm perfect, and all those types of things. But I would rather have my realness or my authenticity shine that, let's face it, as humans, we're all a little messy. We all, can show up in perfectly imperfect, if you want to think about it like that,
Yes.
at times, and it's okay.
I love that you said that perfectly imperfect because I used to use that when I was in college.
Oh,
And it was funny because I was dating this guy and we both, I mean, everybody has their faults, right? So we both had our little issues, our little quirks and all that stuff. But it was like, you know what? We're perfectly imperfect because
yeah,
we got along so well. We had fun. We could have fun in the when everything else felt like it was falling down around us kind of thing, and lift each other up. And so I love that perfectly imperfect
yes.
because it is a balance. That's that yin and yang.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And the other thing too that is time is precious, right? And that is like literally the one thing we can never create more of. We
Right.
can get more money. We can lose weight, gain weight. We can go to the store and buy things, like whatever. But time is something we can never get more or less of. And
Right.
I mean, we can go down time, do time sucking, take tasks that don't get us anywhere. But that's another choice. But and so I think about the time that I have spent trying to be perfect, and how much time that has cost me. And
Yes.
it's like, oh, is it worth it? And done is better than perfect any day. Um yeah i i just, and then I beat myself up, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I could just get that time back, which we never can. So now I just have to
Right.
move on. The conversations we have with ourselves.
Yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's everything has its good and its bad.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to what you were saying of nothing is perfect. The moon, it's beautiful, like you said, but it's got pocks in it, right?
Yeah.
It's got craters. And so the perfection is an illusion.
Yep.
And it's an illusion we try to put out there for others, for how others see us.
Mhm.
And the problem is we start believing that we're perfect so that not, I've never believed that, but
I have no.
we start, or at least we start thinking we should be
Right.
because, well, I'm a well-being coach, so I should be perfect in how I manage my well-being.
Mhm.
I'm not.
Right.
That's how I learn, and that's how I know how it negatively impacts.
Mhm.
So, perfectionism isn't a thing. It's not true. It's not real. And the more we try to be perfect or someone that we're not,
Mhm.
people feel that.
Yes. Yes.
People totally feel that. And it's not something that it's not very attractive, which means it's not going to attract your ideal client to you.
Right. No, 100%. And I look at I'll use celebrities as they're always if they're like a bigger girl like me. I love that they put themselves out there like a big girl, and they do such a beautiful job, and they're beautiful human beings, and they play these parts so brilliantly. And then the Hollywood pressure gets to them, and then they have surgeries and nips and tucks, and they're augmenting their body, and I just think, oh, you went from this beautiful human being to someone that isn't recognizable anymore,
Mhm. Mhm.
for the illusion, to go back to what you were
Yes.
saying. And it, to me, it makes me sad. It really
Yes.
makes me sad, that they, for one, um, it makes me mad that that pressure, societal pressure, got to them and
Mhm.
they felt like they had to make these drastic changes and stuff. But our messy authentic selves, that's the best. Like it's the best. And thinking about like high school when you went to school with pimples on your face and stuff, and it's we all did, right? Like,
Yes,
you
yes,
like,
exactly,
and but
exactly.
it's those messy middle parts that shape us and help us grow and help refine our character and teaches us things about ourselves that you know um, we're more resilient than we perhaps think that we are. We have more grit and tenacity than we thought, or
Mhm.
just all kinds of different things that those are opportunities for us to learn and grow. Um, and it's beautiful. Like it's such a beautiful
Yes.
process.
Yes, it is absolutely. And going back to what you were saying earlier about, people and actors and actresses, Melissa McCarthy.
That's who I was thinking of.
I love
Yes,
her.
she's
I
exactly
love
who I was
her.
thinking of. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love her. And she's so funny and she's so
Yep.
good. And she's, excuse me, and she's being asked to be in these movies because she is so good. She is so, I can't say how authentic because I don't know her
Right.
personally,
Right.
but I can't imagine anybody being that good and not having some authenticity in that. So, and then you see, and I'm trying to remember the actress. She's older. She was very popular 20 or so years ago, but her face, she was on TV, on the news or something, I forget. Her face was so tight
Yes.
from Faceless.
It's like
Yes,
it's like
exactly. Exactly. And you could hardly recognize her. She could hardly move her mouth.
yep.
And that to me just that's a turnoff for one, not because of the way she looks, but why she felt the need
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Right. Yep.
Because it's not necessary. It's what's in your heart
Right.
and how you bring that out into the world that
Yes.
is going to bring you joy, that's going to attract the people that you want around you.
Yes.
So it's mind-boggling to me. But I've not been in that situation.
Sure.
I'm not even brave enough to act.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And I have been in situations where, people have said to me, you'd be a lot prettier if you were thin, and different conversations like that. And it's like, get out of here, because if you don't like me for me and you only like the outside shell of me, that's superficial. That's fake.
Yes.
I prefer someone like me for who I am, for my
Yes.
inner being and my inner light and my inner authenticity that shines out, and for my heart and how my heart, what's in my heart translates into how I treat people and how I respond to people, and that type of thing. And sometimes I get it wrong, like I've misread situations, and like, and then I'm like, oh, whoops, I totally, misread that. But you know what? That's a growth opportunity, and you make apologies, but that also strengthens relationships when you have those
Yes.
messy middles and things aren't perfect, and then you have this opportunity to sit down and say, oh, I didn't get that right. um you know what, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You go back and you make it right. You do what you can to make it right. And sometimes you can't make it right. So just learn from it
Yeah.
because that is making it right in
Mhm.
the universal picture.
Right.
And I have to say, Angie, and you know this story, the first time I ever met you was it was a free 20 or 30 minute webinar. And I'm telling you, people, I fell in love with her in that moment. I really did. She was so authentic. She talked to us, not at us. Her wisdom for business was off the charts, spoke exactly to me because when in your coaching, you coach how to attract your clients instead of like beating them over the head telling them why they should come to you. And it's a whole different feeling.
Oh,
But day one, the first time I ever met you, so it has nothing to do with what you look like, what anybody looks like. It has everything to do what your, I'm going to say aura, but what your energy is, what your
oh.
heart, what's coming out in your heart, and the smiles and so anyway, I could gush on for hours.
Oh, I just love you. Thank you so much. And yes, my heart is smiling, and I appreciate that so much. And same, it's like because you're so authentic, and you are unapologetically Lori Piper, and that's
Sometimes, most of the time.
that it's just such a beautiful thing, and to allow people to see that authentic self, and like you said, most of the time, and it's like, but that's one of those messy middle parts. That's like a creating badly situation, and it's like, yeah, well, sometimes that little devil on my shoulder likes to rear its ugly head.
Uh-huh.
But it's a learning
Yes.
opportunity, it's a growing opportunity, it's a
Yes.
development opportunity, and through that, I often say one of the strangest things that I will ask people to do is to get to know yourself better. And you're like, well, how could I get to know myself any better? Like, I've been living in this body for however many years. What do you mean? And it's like, oh no, we still are learning about ourselves, and different things. But
Yes.
what a beautiful thing that is.
Hmm. Yes. And you know that authentic self. So you were saying I'm authentic, I'm saying you're authentic. That's what dragged us together.
Yeah.
That's what I don't even want to say drag because that's like a negative connotation. That's how we ended up getting to know each other, being friends. And yes, we live in the same state, but 4 hours apart,
Right.
So relationships can grow
Yeah.
through Zoom, through the internet, and having that authentic self, it feels good too. It's a lot less work than trying to be
Oh,
somebody.
truly, truly. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I was doing a role play for, I often coach realtors on their unique value proposition because, you know, um, with real estate, the paperwork, whatever state or county you live in, all that's kind of standard. So there's a lot of standardization inside the real estate world. And then there's also a lot of competition. You look around your area, and there's other real estate agents every time you turn around. So how do you stand out? How do you capitalize on that, your unique value proposition? And so I was role playing with one, and I showed up as Mrs. Giltner, and she is very VIP and only wants extraordinary real estate agents. And if you can't tell me why you are extraordinary, I do not want to even talk with you. And I'll tell you what, even just doing that for 15 seconds is exhausting.
Exactly.
It's not me at
Exactly.
all.
Exactly.
Like, I was whipped after that because this was like a 60-minute training, and in and out, I'm popping in and out of this character that I developed. I don't even have long hair. Why I thought I should flip long hair is
Because you're
kind of
supposed
is
to.
beyond me, because my hair's so short. But it's just one of those things. It is exhausting. And um But I do want to circle back to something like I want to use this podcast as an example. So when you look at our
Hey.
early days of the episodes that we put out, okay, we were getting some stuff wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
We were getting some stuff wrong. And creating badly, well, check.
Check.
However, that's how we learned, that's how we grew, that's how we got to know our listeners, you. And I don't want to forget to remind you that we do have another focus group coming up on February 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern time that we would love to have you participate in. And
Yes.
because we want to hear, like, we want to hear the you're creating this badly so that we can grow, we can develop, we can put out the content that resonates with you and means something to you. And the only way we can do that is if you help us. So, anyhow, we promise
Yeah.
we will never be perfect. I will.
Oh, absolutely, because that's boring. That's boring. Are you
Exactly.
kidding me?
Yeah, that's one thing. Once again, I don't like to speak for all of us, but I can confidently say we will never be perfect.
No, no, nor do I want to be.
Right? Exactly.
No, no, no. I learn a lot more by my mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I think, yeah, when we're striving for that, that illusion of perfection, or it just has to be just so, um, that it really dims our brilliance light. And so it's in that messy middle that when you're creating badly, that your brilliance really shines.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's, this
Yes.
is one of those topics that um, I think, it would be great to have with if you have some munchkins, as I call them, in your life, nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren.
Yes.
This is one of those conversations to have to give them permission to color outside the lines. Those are some of the
Yes.
best pictures, and I have just so many things that my nieces and nephews that have created for me over the years, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I don't care.
Exactly. 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 I can't tell you, years ago when my nieces and nephews were young, how many pictures I had on my refrigerator. And one, my niece, she said to Aunt Lori, and she spelled Aunt A-N-T. That's one of my favorites, right?
Yes. Oh, yes, my
Yeah.
nephew Carly, same. I love that. Yes.
Yes.
But you know what? And that, see, it's memorable, it's fun, it's something, there's an emotional connection there. They tried so hard and they wanted to do this, and
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Yes. And she saw my smile when I saw ants.
Yes.
She
Oh,
didn't know. I mean, yes, I truly loved it and I still have it.
mhm.
But it's also the big smile came when I saw that it was spelled A-N-T.
Yes. The best. I, yeah, 100% agree.
And we still talk about it,
Yep.
So it's like you say, it's memorable.
Yes. Yep. Oh, and even little things like so my nephew, my another one of my nephews is a 911 dispatcher,
Oh,
and when he was little, he would say, we got to be safety, you know, and so people would say, you mean you have to be safe? And it's like, no, he has to be safety. Like, let him, like, don't correct him, let him have that. He's creating badly, I mean, I didn't say those words at the time, but it's like that, let him figure those things out. He's developing his language. I think he was 3, like, let him speak. Just
uh,
that's how
that's
his little mind was processing thing. That's how he was growing and stuff. And so we still say it today, instead of, it's like, now you have to be safety today. And so it just created a memory. But yeah, I mean, the little things like that, we don't always have to like correct or feel
right.
color outside the lines, for heaven's sakes.
Yes, yes. And see how fun it is.
Right.
Actually, oh, I don't have it near me, but a friend of mine She created this coloring book for
Oh,
adults.
yes, yes,
Yeah, Cheryl. And
Cheryl.
it's so much fun because, I can color outside the box. There's all kinds of little tasks and stuff. But sometimes we think, well, we can't do that because, we're adults. Well, be a kid. And
Yes,
like you say, draw outside the lines. You will be amazed how much it will warm your heart,
yes,
how much stress it can release,
yep,
and you'll laugh. You'll probably
yes,
laugh and chuckle and
yes.
yes.
And it's freedom, right? Like there's
Yes.
freedom in that. It's like you're not chained or shackled to, who says the sky has to be blue? How many times have we woken up to many colors,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And when we're coloring the ocean, who says it has to be a blue ocean, right? Like
Right.
you just make it whatever you want to make it, and that's brilliant, and
Right.
that's perfect.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. Yes. An imagination, let it flow because that's how fabulous, wonderful, beautiful things are created.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. So
We
this
would, we
has
would,
been a fun
yeah.
conversation, and
Yeah.
hopefully we've given you some little nuggets and some little things to think about. And don't forget, we would love to have you be part of our next focus group on February 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have all of that information right in the show notes and in the comments. Make it super easy for you to come and join us. And just, for one, we'd love to get to know you. For that's the most
Yes.
important part. And for
Yes.
two, just love to get your feedback and how we can talk about things that are important to you and all of that. So, Lori, this has
Yeah.
been fun. We missed you, Anne, but this has been fun.
Yes, yes. And we would love to hear how you have created badly, how just like Angie said earlier, please let us know. Please put it in the comments. Let us know how you created badly and when what good came out of it, because good always comes out of it.
100%. Yes. All right, listeners, until next time, this is the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. Bye.
Bye.